Welcome back to Tom. Today, prune-filled Hamantaschen. Do not dismiss this. You got to hear this story. It is so amazing, and hopefully you'll know that not only is the story amazing, but prune-filled Hamantaschen are ridiculously delicious. So in 1731, a Jewish Bohemian merchant called David Brandeis is accused of poisoning his prune Lekvar. Lekvar is a Hungarian word for jam. So he's accused of poisoning his prune Lekvar, and he is imprisoned. And just 4 days before Purim, he is acquitted. He is released. It is proven that he did not poison his prune jam in celebration of this miracle, because chances are he would have been killed for the accusation of poisoning his prune jam. His family fills Hamantaschen with the prune jam filling. And from that day forward, prune jam, the idea of it starts spreading and people start filling their Hamantaschen with prune filling. By the way, I know, like, it's not like the most conventional thing nowadays. It is so delicious. So stick around. We're going to make our own prune Lekvar. It is delicious. I'm serious. Oh my goodness. So let's make our prune Lekvar now, make our prune-filled Hamantaschen, and we're going to celebrate David Brandeis's release in 1731, 4 days before Purim, from what would have been a really harsh ending. So let's make it right now. Nothing could be simpler. What I have here is 2 cups of prunes, and they're going into my pot, along with 1/3 cup of sugar, 1/4 cup of lemon juice, the grated zest, the rind of 1 lemon, and 1 cup water. I'm gonna bring this to a boil, and then once it's at a rolling boil, I'm gonna cover it, and I'm just gonna stir it every few minutes to make sure it isn't catching. But you basically wanna cook these until most of the liquid is evaporated and the prunes are incredibly soft. That is it. That is our entire prune Lekvar cooking process. In fact, to make apricot Lekvar, which is also, oh my goodness, insanely delicious, same exact process. Super easy, super simple. And if you have prunes and lemons at home, you're halfway there. So let's make our prune Lekvar, and then we're gonna, do the rest of the process, fill our Hamantaschen. Prune Hamantaschen. I know. Trust me, they are delicious. So our prunes are soft, almost all the liquid is gone. So I'm going to use my hand blender to make it into a puree. If you don't have a hand blender, you can use a potato masher. That's how soft you want your prunes. The potato masher is gonna go through them. But hand blender, food processor, regular blender, whatever you've got, you want a puree, so let's puree, and then we need it to cool down completely before we fill our Hamantaschen. All right, let me just show you what it looks like. There is my prune Lekvar, my prune puree. I'm gonna get it really, really cool. I'm gonna stick it in the fridge, because filling a Hamantaschen with hot filling, it's just gonna melt it's going to melt the dough. So let's get this into the fridge. Let's get it cool down before we start filling our Hamantaschen. Let's fill our Hamantaschen. So I have my Hamantaschen dough rolled out. I have my prune filling. I put it on a flat plate to get it to cool down in the fridge as quickly as possible. I've got my 3-inch cookie cutter. I've got my very thin spatula, super, super useful when making any kind of rolled out cookies. So my big tip when cutting out any cookie shape is to just press down, punch out your shape. We all have this like instinct to twist the cutter. Don't do it. Actually, that is going to encourage your cookie to shrink, and you don't want that to happen. So let's just get one round out. So there it is, and a teaspoon. Here is my issue. Every single year I make Hamantaschen, and every year I forget my golden rule, which is do not overfill them. And every year, the first few batches, I overfill. I want to be generous, but overfilling your Hamantaschen will only lead for them to burst, which we don't want to happen. No more than a very modest teaspoon in there. And what you do is you fold a third and the other third, and then you fold it in on itself. And I know a lot of people pinch their Hamantaschen. I fold, and it seems to work best for me, and they stick together. So that is my first prune-filled Hamantaschen going onto my cookie sheet, and I'm going to keep on punching out the rounds, filling them with a very modest teaspoonful, folding, and then we're gonna bake. Our tray of prune-filled Hamantaschen are ready to go into the oven. The oven is set at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, 180 Celsius, and they're going in for about 15 minutes. Oh my goodness, I cannot wait. So in they go. Our prune Hamantaschen are out of the oven. They look amazing. My final touch to prune Hamantaschen, totally unnecessary, but necessary for, you know, the peace in my household, is that I actually coat prune Hamantaschen in a little bit of confectioner's sugar, icing sugar. The reason I do this isn't because they need any additional sweetness, but because, God forbid, one of my kids accidentally has a prune Hamantaschen thinking they were going in for a chocolate one. Oh my goodness. So this is in order to like keep world peace. This is the signifier in our home that these are indeed prune Hamantaschen and not any other flavor. They are delicious. I will one day convince my children. But there we go. Those are the prune Hamantaschen. Good to coat them as soon as they come out of the oven, because that's when, as they're hot, the sugar will actually stick to them once more, preventing people from getting very upset. All right, those are our prune Hamantaschen. We're gonna let them cool down before we take a bite. Oh my goodness, I can't wait. Coffee is being prepared as we speak. All right, the time has come. Oh my goodness, which one am I gonna take? I think that one. Look at that. Oh my goodness, prune Hamantaschen. I am super duper excited about it. Oh my goodness. Because of the amount of lemon we put into the prune filling, it's like this burst of like citrusy, wholesome goodness in a Hamantaschen. I've got my coffee. It does not get much better than this. Try them out. I'm serious. If you've never had a prune Hamantaschen, do yourself a favor, make them. They are awesome. See y'all soon.